All right, let's go ahead and check the answers to 9-5. The homework on page 419 to 421 dealing with ellipses. For number 5, the vertex 0, 8 and 0, -8. The co-vertices 7, 0 and -7, 0. Number 6, you need to know the center to answer it. It's 1, -5. Vertices 5, -5 and -3, -5. And the co-vertices 1, -3 and 1, -7. So on 5 and 6, just remember that you can tell which one the vertices is because of the biggest. So like here on the y would be the vertices. So you would take the center of 0, 0, and on the y coordinate, add or subtract the square root of 64 or 8. For this one, you know your center is 1, -5. Since the vertex is 16, to that one on the x, you're going to add and subtract 4. All right, now we're skipping to 16 through 19, which you had to graph. If you know the center, the vertices, and the co-vertices, you can plot them and then make your ellipse. Okay, same thing on 17. Get your center, your vertices, and your co-vertices. Plot them and make your graph. 18, your center is at the origin again. Vertices and co-vertices. And 19, your center is at -3, 1. Vertices and co-vertices. And graph. Now, I don't want to go through all of these, but I am more than willing to go through them with you. If you want to call me or set up a Zoom, we can do that as well. Let's look at maybe 18, just so you have something to go with. You're going to, you know what, 18 is at the origin, so let's look at 19. It's a little more interesting. All right, your first thing you need is the center. Remember, this is x minus h and y minus k. So that gives you a center of a -3 and a +1. Okay. The vertices are going to be affecting the x because that has the greatest, so the major axis is on the x-axis. So you know it's going to look something like that when you're done. All right, so if you affect the x, that y does not change. The x, you're going to have to take the square root of 49 and then add or subtract 7 to your center value for x. So -3 plus 7 is 4, and -3 minus 7 is -10. Okay. Now, for the co-vertices, you're going to take the square root of 16 and add or subtract 4 to the y value. So you're going to leave the -3 unchanged. The 1, you add 4 and get 5. You subtract 4 and get -3. Now, for graphing, you're going to go to the -3, 1, and that's your center. You're going to go to a +4, 1, and a -10, 1. And those are going to be your major axis vertices. Okay, for the co-vertices on the minor axis, you're going to have a -3 with a 5, and then a -3 with a -3. And that's where your parabola is going to come from. Sorry, I said parabola. It's not a parabola. What is it? It's an ellipse. So that was 19. So now if you have questions 16 to 19, again, please see me. I'll be more than happy to go through them with you. On question 20, this time you wanted to come up with the ellipse. So 20 was x squared over 36 plus y squared over 121 equals 1. Let's see how you do 20. So on this one, they want the equation and it's centered at the origin. So that's nice. The horizontal axis, that's this way, is going to be 12 units long. So if the center is here, it's got to be 6 in each direction. And then your vertical axis, this one, from here to here, is 22 long, meaning each piece is going to be an 11. All right, so you know it's centered at the origin. So this part of the equation is easy. Remember, this number on the bottom, when you square root it, it's what you're going to add and subtract to the origin. So we just said that the horizontal is 12 long, meaning this is 6. The vertical is 22, meaning this is 11. So your major axis is on the y. So you would add or subtract 11 to the y, which came from the square root of this number, which would be a 121. Same thing here. This is a 6, so this had to have been a 36. So it's kind of working backwards. And actually, it's probably should look more like this. I have it a little bit too squatty there. All right, the last two are multiple choice. 27 was A, C, and E, and 28 was B. So in 27, you're looking for the vertical major axis. Remember, vertical is up and down, that's Y. So you're looking the one that has the biggest Y value. 55 is bigger, 120 is bigger, and 53 is bigger. A, C, E. 28, the length of the minor axis, well, the minor would be the smaller one, 4, because the square root of 16 is 4, but don't pick 4 as the answer. Remember, that's just part of it. That's just half of it. So the entire length would be that 4 doubled 8, which is B. Okay, please reach out to me if you have any questions. This concludes topic 9, so we're ready to review and to test on this topic, probably Tuesday. I think that's April 21st.